Hey everyone! In this video, we will go over using the Revolve and Circular Pattern tool in Inventor. We have already gone over several create and modify tools that we can use to refine our solid models. In this video, we will look at the Revolve tool and the Circular Pattern tool, which we can use to create rounded features. We will start with the Revolve tool. This tool allows us to use a profile or a 2D cross-section that we created and rotate it about a specified axis for a given rotation to create a solid. In these snapshots, you can see that we created a cross-section of half the screwdriver and revolved it about an axis to produce a cylinder. Let's go ahead and do this in Inventor. A way we can create the shape of the screwdriver would have been to create two circles in different planes and make extrusions to create a cylinder for the shaft and handle. However, instead we can create a cross-section and use the Revolve tool to make the entire shape at once. I have gone ahead and sketched out a profile of half the screwdriver. The handle has a radius of 0.5 inches and the shank has a radius of 0.2 inches. We can go ahead and use the Revolve tool, which can be found in the 3D Model tab in the Create section of the ribbon, right next to Extrude. Since we are using the Revolve tool to create a new solid, when the Revolve window pops up, the default will be Solid Output, New Solid, and Full Extent. We will first need to select a profile, so let's select the cross-section that we sketched out. We then need to select an axis to rotate our profile around, so we can use either bottom edge of our profile. We'll use the handle. Finally, for extents, you can either select in the window drop-down or specify in the pop-up next to our solid. There are options of angle, to next face or body, to selected face or plane, between two faces or planes, and full. Let's take a look at how angle works. You can specify the angle in the dialog box. Here we've specified 90 degrees rotation, giving us a quarter of our shape. Because we want the profile to be a full rotation, we can either specify an angle of 360 degrees or simply select full. Now that we have a basic solid, we can go ahead and put ridges into our handle. To do this, we will use the Circular Pattern tool. In a previous video, we have gone over the Rectangular Pattern tool, which we can use to replicate features of an object in a linear fashion. The Circular Pattern tool allows us to do the same, except we can copy the feature in a radial fashion about an axis. The first thing we will need to do is create a feature we would like to copy. Let's first create a sketch. We will create a circle and use it to cut out a ridge in our handle. Let's give this circle a diameter of 0.7 inches and place it 0.75 inches from the center of the shank of our screwdriver. We can then use the vertical alignment constraint to ensure that the center point of our circle is aligned with the center point of the shank of our screwdriver. We can then go ahead and use Extrude Cut to cut out the ridge. We now have a feature to copy. Let's open the Circular Pattern tool, which can be found in the 3D Model tab in the Pattern section of the ribbon. You will first be prompted to select a feature, so let's select the ridge that we created. Next, you can select the axis of rotation. We will hover over our solid and select the entire cylinder, and Inventor will use its center as our axis of rotation. We can now select how many ridges you would like, and Inventor will default to spreading them out evenly around your solid within the given angle. Here the defaulted angle is 360 degrees, but we could have specified an angle of 180 degrees, for example, and Inventor would create the pattern for only half the rotation. Finally, we have the orientation. We will keep it at rotational so that the ridge will rotate as it goes around the object. If we choose Fix, you can see that the ridge keeps the same upwards orientation throughout the entire revolution, and that's not what we want. Once you have specified the pattern, you can go ahead and hit Create. You can see that the ridge has been copied all around the wrench handle. This concludes our video on the Revolve and Circular Pattern tools.